But yeah, no, I mean, like, well, we're doing this podcast finally. This is good.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this for ages.
Yeah, man.
And it's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
My first ever guest.
It's about time we kind of materialized this, right? Like,
I mean, I've been talking about it for ages. I mean, years. And I thought to myself, and you know what? Last night I was gonna back out. I was like, I don't know if you remember. I sent you a message last night. I was like, you sure you want to do this? You know, and I was like,
move it till like 2 o'clock.
I don't know if I want to.
You know, so trying to find pockets of time where I can't come. You want to come at midnight? No. Yeah.
Do you wanna? I know you have a little thing at 2. Do you want to come at 1:30? So the whole thing was, yeah. So I was a little freaking out last night, but then, like, I thought about it, I was like, listen, if I don't do it today, then I'm not going to do it, you know? Yeah. So might as well do this test run, and...
This could be like the pilot.
And you know what? We, like, the most person I have conversations with is you, and we sit and we talk for hours upon hours.
Correct.
You come, you chill on my balcony, and we have a really long conversation about...
These get deep and messy sometimes.
We get deep.
Yeah.
We get quite deep. We start at, like, talking about coffee, and it's entirely about space, and...
But then we're questioning everything. Which is always good.
Yeah. Well, this is a podcast about questioning everything. Yeah. So,
you haven't settled on a name yet, have you? Eh?
I mean, I'm calling it Basel Meets just because I'm meeting different people.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I mean,
that worked quite well on the YouTube thing you had earlier.
Yeah, I mean, my legacy has always been the Basel Meets Metallica thing, and I'm trying to get away from it.
About time,
you know. Yeah. So,
how long has that been?
Shit, it's been like since 2010. 2010?
7 years.
2011, actually. Yeah, that's when it happened. And actually, the other day, I was, I don't know, I was at work, and some guy came up to me. He's like, are you the guy, the Basel Meets Metallica guy?
You still got that, huh?
God, I'm never going to live this down.
Never going to live it down, yeah.
You know, so...
saying that you still got that, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty weird. But, so I thought, like, just ride on that legacy, but maybe move Metallica out and run with it.
Remember how different Twitter in the UAE was back then?
Yeah.
A much smaller community.
That's pretty crazy, yeah.
We had a lot more tweet ups.
Yeah.
And this was like, I'm not going to attribute it to the growth of like the entire Arab Spring thing in Egypt, but post 2011,
right?
Everyone joined Twitter.
It was pretty crazy. I actually remember you were the first one to tell me about Twitter. I remember it was like...
It was one of,
my first tweet was about Ronnie James Dio when he died.
I remember, yeah.
And I was like, Ronnie James Dio, R.I.P., you know? And that was my first tweet ever.
And there's that very hard realization with Twitter that no one pays attention.
Yeah.
When you first start.
Yeah, it's like, fuck it, whatever. I'm just...
I think they still suffer from the same problem. Like, even when you join Twitter, they recommend people for you to follow.
Right.
So you excitedly start following everyone.
I just started an account. I got recommended. The first one recommended was Donald Trump.
Really?
Why? Like, why would I want to follow Donald Trump? I don't get it. Yeah.
Was there any keywords in the name that suggested?
No, I just stopped. I didn't continue. But
okay.
I set up anyway. Well, that's another topic. But yeah, you're right. It was different back then. It was.
We used to go to Festival City for these
tweet ups.
Yeah. We've had so many people.
I remember that. Yeah.
We've had people who we don't see anymore. That's you see people now like I saw.
That's
you
right.
6-7 years ago in that tweet up one.
Yeah. I actually have friends who like I say like I would say like my story with that person, my initial story with that person was on Twitter. Like we've met on Twitter, and it went. But I think there was something about Twitter is that back then, Twitter was more of a, I don't know. It was kind of like social media for, you know, out of the social media. You know, makes it because everybody was on Facebook, and then suddenly people started migrating to Twitter.
I think, but no one built clicks though. So
It wasn't about clicks. I think it's about people who like. You had same interests with, and it's almost like I don't want to like belittle any other social network, but Twitter almost had the smart people. You know what I mean? Like the people that you really wanted to be friends with,
because the platform itself wasn't intuitive either.
Right.
So you had to put in a lot of effort to actually understand how the thing worked and the different timelines. There's no likes, there's no replies, and even the reply chains were very different. And the more people join, it gets complicated.
Right.
Then you have to sit and you measure what you say because you have the 140 characters and all of that. So Facebook was more of like a on the spur moment, like brain dump.
Right.
And Twitter, you'd sit like for an hour deciding I'm gonna craft the perfectly written tweet.
Right. 140. You got 140 characters.
140 characters.
You got one shot. How are you gonna do it? Yeah.
I'm gonna like nail it. That's gonna be the tweet that gets me it's gonna go global. Everyone's
That's right. Yeah,
go viral.
Yeah, you get like 2 retweets. You're like, fuck, I made it. You know?
Yeah, and eventually they opened an office here, and then they got the royalty on board, and then the thing in Egypt happened, and everyone Twitter suddenly became the savior of the masses.
Yeah, I remember like we used to follow everything on. I mean the trending topics, and I thought, I mean, Basel meets Metallica. I remember when it like trended on Twitter, and
it was Du, right? Who pushed it on.
Well, what happened is actually, I remember it was me and a friend, Sarah Bouzahra. I remember we were sitting in Mall of the Emirates in some Aspen, what was it called, that bar? Like
Aspen, yeah.
Something like that. And we just sort of like I was telling her like I really wanted to like meet Metallica, whatever, and like they're coming. And we should start something on Twitter, and then that's how we started the first tweets.
Okay.
But I remember the next day you actually you wrote a blog post on journals.
Right. Oh, journals, yeah.
And then you sort of like, and I remember I found the BuzzFeed link that you created. So you were telling people like, all right, vote. We need Basel to meet Metallica, and then like it's sort of like it's just sort of started from there.
Yeah, I think
we got bloggers on board and whatever, and just sort of blew up. And then we trended on Twitter that day.
Same day, and then Jesse designed T-shirts.
That's right. Yeah.
And then I think there was a brand that we tried to poke, or they tried approaching us before Du. Well, not approaching us, approaching you.
Time Out, I think it was Time Out magazine.
But they wanted to add a caveat to it, right? They wanted to get something out of it for themselves.
Get 500 tweets or retweets or something like that, and then we'll get you. And then Du right away came in and said like, "Hold your horses, you know, we're gonna."
Asking for 500 retweets, like this gets you chicken nuggets today. Like,
exactly,
It's the big trend.
A lifetime supply of chicken nuggets. That's that's pretty crazy.
I'd do that.
Yeah, well, I envy the guy, and he's my personal hero. You know, so
are you seeing the entire Ellen thing?
No.
Because Ellen DeGeneres is so upset that he beat her retweet record of all time with that Oscar selfie.
The selfie, yeah, that's right.
So like for the past week, because I sometimes pass in front of the TV in the room and I see my mom watching Ellen, and she's like getting celebrities on show daily to try to create content to create more retweets.
No way.
She's so bitter about it. Yeah, but hey, he got the nuggets. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, he got his nuggets.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's amazing. I mean, like, I personally, until today, I love Twitter. I think it's my favorite platform. It made me like meet Metallica, which is like, I had software. Although Facebook had a lot to do with it because of that page that we created. Remember all the memes that started coming out of it? And
of course.
I mean, what I find amazing is that we sustained it for 3 weeks. And relentlessly.
Wake up in the morning,
fucking keep going, And I had a day job, and I was like, yeah, my day job can wait, Like. Anyway, I'm not at that day job anymore, so I could say talk freely about that.
Watching is
not there anymore, But yeah, it's interesting. And then we started. Remember, Du came in the end, and then we got to meet Metallica. It was 3 weeks, but then I remember that page was just there.
Exactly.
I was like, what do I do with it now? Like
it's insane, like how far you've come, because like you've met Metallica so casually as a fan, losing your shit,
right?
And then a couple of years later, you get called to sit in a room with the vocalist James.
Right.
Who doesn't know James Hetfield, the vocalist of Metallica? Sit and interview him.
Yeah.
And you got a hug at the end because like you went deep.
Yeah.
Like, you went through the Bleeding Me writing process. You like dug deep into like, and he's sitting there going, "Wow, this guy."
15 minutes with James.
I know, like, this guy really knows how I've written these songs or whatever it is.
Well, I also got Kirk Hammett to help me propose to Dana,
that's
my wife, Dana. She.
Not everyone can say that, right?
No, yeah.
People say, "Oh yeah, I followed Dream Theater on tour throughout Europe." Yeah, but did like Petrucci help you propose to your wife?
Yeah. No, I remember it was Flash called me. They're like, "Would you like to Flash Entertainment, the organizers of the show?" And shameless plug. And then they were like, "Would you like to interview Kirk Hammett?" I was like, "Wow, let me think about that," And
what do you think?
When? So basically I did like a makeshift studio at home. Like I just got my laptop, I got speakers, I put him on loudspeaker so I could record everything. It was really insane. I was very entrepreneurial, at that particular hour. So and then I had a basically 10-15 minute conversation with him. And it was about horror movies and whatever. It's on YouTube, it's on YouTube. So it was pretty cool. But then the last part I cut out. I was like, okay, Kirk, I'm about to propose to my current missus, and I was like, could you help me out and just say, Dana, say yes. You know, and then he went ahead. It was like, Dana, this is Kirk Hammett from Metallica.
He gave like a full speech.
Yeah, he's like, if you know what's good for you, you'd say yes. It's like, that's fucking awesome. You know? So nobody can say that, but yeah, that's,
not a lot of people can walk around flaunting the fact that the lead guitarist of the biggest metal band in history told my wife, either sign up to this or you're missing out. It's amazing.
Yeah, well, she's my wife now, so that's
it worked.
That's good. Yeah, it worked, but she's a famous one now, so she's
doing very well.
It's
amazing. She's sending newsletters. She's got a fan.
She's killing it, man.
People are copying her recipes.
I'm like, holy shit, I need to pick up my game.
Eventually, you're gonna just spend your life being an Instagram husband,
right? She's gonna be the provider of this house. That's what's gonna happen, you know. Sunnyside Day, by the way, you should follow Sunnyside Day. Yeah,
I mean, roles are all over the place now. You know how it is. So you'll be the housewife, and
nothing wrong with that, though, Joe.
No, of course, nothing.
21st century, you know. I do the dishes of the house.
I think deep down, most of us wish we can just sit at home.
You know what?
The way we
not do the dishes though. I think that's something that I would not want to do.
Fuck the dishes. Nobody likes doing.
Yeah, Dana has a song for me actually. She's whenever she does. Whenever she just cooks and she's like, who's gonna do the dishes of this house?
Wow, she claps.
I was like, well, I guess that's me.
She's there with like a jump rope giving you a performance, like
I'm gonna be the one. But the famous one here is you.
I'm not famous, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm not famous.
Got thousands of followers on Twitter and Instagram.
I swear to God,
Sky News.
Sometimes I don't know.
I can't believe I'm your friend.
I swear to God, I sometimes don't know how all this happened.
It's pretty crazy, but you've always had that thing about you, though. Like you've always had that thing where
I had red hair.
People were attracted to you,
I had red hair and like a bead necklace in uni.
That's when we first met. You should tell that story.
It was Ramadan, wasn't it? And you walked in. You had like the tool. What's tool? Schism. You had the Schism bass line
on my Nokia phone.
Your Nokia phone. And I'm smoking one with like my red hair, grumpy as F. Just smoke like 2 packs. But is that Tool, bro? It's like, good song, man.
And in my head, I was like, oh my God, the red-haired guy just spoke to me, you know. Act cool, be cool, you know. A lot of people know this guy, you know, so don't fuck this up, bro.
No, not at all. It's like fast forward now, it's just the entire thing with Ska was a complete. I don't know. I mean, the entire blogging thing itself was a.
Well, how did it start, though? I mean, you were the first one to get into the Twitter, Facebook, whatever, digital media world.
I think I was one of the earliest. Not the first, not the first. I'm sure there are others who've tried this. Maybe I was the one who didn't shut up about it the most, I think. I think I was quite early on into reviewing gadgets. So I would and it wasn't stuff I would buy or get for free. I'd literally find stuff around the house, like what's the latest BlackBerry? There were peanuts back then.
Right.
You wouldn't pay $3,000 for a phone. And just write a 1,000-word review about it, and I kept writing.
This was for publications, or did you do it for?
No, I wrote it for myself for journals thing, and then work. The first things I used to write for was remember the Reed newspaper that came out in Dubai Metro. They had this small newspaper called Reed. One of my friends, Tom, he used to be on the Fridays.
Is it the photographer?
No, he's not a photographer.
Tom
Pei, he's an editor now. He works in publications. I can't remember which band he used to play with. And I think I either spoke to him or he asked me to help him write a column for technology on that title, and I would contribute like a weekly, one of those like very tiny side things. So it was a mix of those two. And then eventually PR companies got a wind of it, and I started getting invited to like random events, like come check out this new speaker being launched. It's like, I'm gonna drive all the way to the end of the town to kind of see something. So, but eventually you start doing these things.
But
at first you're like, oh wow, this is a bit too much. Especially when the PR industry latches onto you. You get invites to everything. I was getting invited to launches of like high heels and like lingerie. Like no, I write about. I'm not the guy for this.
I remember when Samsung, I think, they called you as well in the beginning.
We did the S4 campaign. They created teams for us. We had to recruit people.
Was it S4 or S3? I think
it was the S4. I remember. Yeah, it was the S4.
Okay.
And then
I don't remember. I had a Samsung at some point, and I remember it was that one we went to. So it's probably the S4. You're right.
Wait, the launch we went to was the S3 launch in Caramel.
That's right. That's the one. Yeah.
We got invited to that launch. It was me, you. There was Nagam. There was Kinan. And
a lot of those. Those the
classic OMDers.
Right. That's right.
All of you. And then we kind of worked a little more with Samsung. Then we did the S4 thing. Me and if you remember Miss Google from Twitter.
I don't think I do.
Stephanie, she was also one of the earliest people on Twitter in the UAE. We had this entire campaign. They would recruit teams and produce videos. We went out shooting, all that kind of stuff. So that was fun. And then the Sky News thing happened at the PR team of Sky News decided that we're gonna invite a group of like tech bloggers or guys to come see the studio when they first opened in Abu Dhabi. So we went there, and then I had a bit of a spar with someone in management there because they were asking who watches Sky.
Right.
And I didn't raise my hand, and then they were like, "Why don't you watch Sky?" I'm like, "I don't care." Like, it's in a way, maybe 6 years they've gotten better now, but 5 years ago, Arabic TV was nothing but war and politics.
Right.
Now they have all these cool shows about technology. Sky News has Taghreet al-Sabah with Jessie Al-Mur, which is an amazing show.
Yeah.
I hope I got her name right. I know it's Jessie, but sure the family name.
Okay.
And everything, and then on the way out,
small podcast. She's not gonna know. She doesn't give a shit. So.
We'll just tag her.
Unless it blows up and everybody is like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!"
Next thing you know, you have like 60 million downloads a month. Overshadowing Dana. And on the way out, the guys are like, "Oh, would you ever like to come on TV and talk about these things?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." I mean, you throw these words around so casually, no one expects they're gonna get a call to appear on television, especially that. I had nothing to do with TV. I spoke Arabic like a caveman, and this is like.
But you're pretty good at it now, man.
Now, alhamdulillah, 5 years later, and then the call came 6 months later, and this was during the Apple Samsung lawsuit.
Right.
So they were still locked in lawsuit, and then I went to the station. And
so what was that about? The Apple. What was that about?
It was if I'm not mistaken, God, this was 5 years ago. I think it was a patent war.
Right. Yeah. When Apple thought that Samsung was copying them on.
I can't remember if it was the OS layout of the buttons at the bottom with the icon thing, but I mean, Apple patents everything. Like,
I should look that one up. Yeah. Okay.
I remember what happened, and then it was a very terrifying appearance. It was Muhammad Al-Khatib was one of the most charismatic, strongly voiced men, big fat white mustache. People you don't mess with when you see them. The classic Arab type.
Right.
And he's very well known. And it was him, and then across the screen there was this business analyst sitting in Cairo. There was supposed to be a minister from Saudi. He didn't show.
Yeah.
But I was told when I arrived. So okay, welcome. You're gonna be on TV with X and Y. Excuse me?
Who from Saudi?
Some minister of telecommunications or something. You want me to debate with that guy?
Yeah.
I review phones. I play. Back then we used to play. Was it Candy Crush? I can't remember what was it back in 2012. What the big games were. There was that.
So this was your first Sky appearance.
Yeah, and it was terrifying. I wasn't in a studio. I was in a small black room with a dot in the wall that was the camera and 10 projector headlights beaming into my face.
No pressure.
I didn't have the best hair. I just shaved. I looked like an idiot. I had a really annoying, these weird goatees. And I remember I was really fat back then, so my face was this big on television. I left thinking they're never gonna call me back.
Right.
I swear to God, because they sent me a card.
I think I remember that actually.
Yeah.
I think I remember that. You were much bigger than you are right now.
Oh yeah, man.
Size-wise.
Yeah, 40 kilos, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course they always say that the camera adds 10 more kilos to your weight.
Right.
So you can imagine I was like one.
Jabba the Hutt. That's what.
Sitting there with a belly flopping up, 7 chins.
Yeah, but you've transformed. I mean, that's amazing.
That's a part to how good our social circle has been as well. I think everyone needs that.
Yeah.
I think it's very. You kind of understand how much. Part of the transformation, your wife had a very big role. I mean, Dana, Flywheel was a weekly thing.
Right, yeah.
Flywheel was...
Another shameless plug for Flywheel, yeah.
Flywheel, so that was that. And
no, I remember when you started losing weight, it was very inspiring. I mean, you've sort of taken it upon yourself to change your life, and you sort of fuck it, I'm gonna start eating healthy, I'm gonna start going to the gym, and it's amazing that we've Anyway, so I just remember that that you were threw me off.
No, it's fine.
But I remember you totally sort of changed your life, and you sort of started focusing on your.
It came out of nowhere, man. I think a lot of people struggle with the weight loss thing is because we're sold so many ideas of timed diets.
Right.
So people come in and say, okay, there's this new thing called the Dukin thing, whatever it is. Dukin is where you eat 100% protein. So meat, chicken.
So is that what you did?
No, I didn't do that.
Oh, okay.
So people get hung up on that. Okay, I've got this 3-week Dukin program, so I'm going to eat meat and chicken for 3 weeks, and at the end of the 3 weeks, I'm going to be perfect.
Yeah.
But the problem with the end of any diet is that it literally ends. You literally go back. You haven't made a conscious decision to reprogram your thinking process about what you want to do. I mean, you experienced that with your running. If you decided I'm going to run for a week, you would have stopped at the end of the week.
Right.
But you decided, you know what, I'm going to actually take up running as an interest. It will help me become fit. It will help my lung capacity. I can breathe better. I can sleep better. And I think everyone had to get into that mindset.
Yeah, and got me into podcasting as well. I mean,
exactly. You listen to a lot of shows. Right. Like that. Now you're recording your own. So things kind of, it's almost like a neural web. Things kind of just connect to each other and you discover all these new things. And
absolutely.
Of course, part of the entire weight loss thing was, the entire change in wardrobe and getting dressed and because when I really empathize with big sized, both men and women, because when you're at that size, you're very limited by two things. One, the market isn't helpful for overweight people.
Yeah.
You have black jeans and black t-shirts.
Right.
For most overweight men, and if you're lucky you find these really big, you go to Big and Tall, whatever it is. And for women and for men, insecurity creeps up, so people are scared of colors because they might show how they look. And in most cases, people should wear whatever the hell they want. If they want to stay overweight, just wear whatever you want,
Right.
And none of us have an issue with it. We've had friends of all sizes. I mean, I know people kind of talk about fat shaming as a very big thing here. I don't think it's something I struggled with. I've never been shamed. I've been told by friends in passing, because the guys banter been bad, dude, you're fat ass, get your off your ass and do something.
Right.
But people don't do well being told they're overweight. People don't do well being told they gained weight. I mean, try telling someone, sure, bro, you put on a couple of kilos. You see their face transform in a matter of seconds.
Right.
Instantly.
It does. It hits you and you start thinking, shit, did I gain weight? No, I know what you mean.
Yeah. And in most cases, when you gain weight, you gained weight.
Right.
Most people wake up in the morning, put on that comfortable pair of jeans to work every day. Then you wake up that morning after spending your weekends, slamming it with burgers and milkshakes, and you're like, oh shit, this is not closing.
Yeah.
And you tell yourself, don't worry, I'll eat light this week. You walk into work and the first thing bro, take care of that.
Yeah.
And it's I know.
Yeah. Well, I think it's when you start losing weight and people start telling you hey, did you lose weight? And you look good. And that sort of plays in the back of your mind, and you start thinking oh shit, okay, cool. I think I could keep doing this, And
it honestly, it redefined. Is redefined the right word? It actually made it crystal clear to me how vain most people are. The way the opposite sex checks you out, the way people treat you, the way you're catered to when you walk into stores when you're shopping or trying to buy clothes.
Right. Really?
Wow. Yeah, it is. I mean, the entire opposite gender attraction thing on its own is very different. When you're overweight in general, because it's the basis of every relationship. It's always the looks first. You look at someone, oh wow, they're good looking, they're hot, whatever metric you want to run with when assessing someone, and then you kind of either do the entire process.
Yeah.
So that plays a very big role into playing to the confidence of people. But I think in general, even the people who lose a lot of weight carry their insecurities with them. So it's not like a magic fix to your life if you lose the weight.
Yeah.
But it's good to do.
I think it's a good place to sort of change your mentality. I think. Yeah. For me personally, I wasn't so overweight, but I did. Lose a good 10 kilos in the past 6-7 months since I started running. So, and it wasn't more about the food. The food came after, but it's sort of when I started running and enjoying the process of running, and because I get to see stuff outside. I have that my 1 hour to myself where I just program myself and just go running and listen to a podcast or whatever. And it's funny because I followed the entire sort of American election through that period. So I lost weight, and at the same time I was following the whole American election, which was a soap opera of its own in its own right.
But listen, you've lived in 3 different Arab countries. So unlike my experience, I've been here. Do you think that I genuinely believe that this weight loss issue is a fundamental problem with our society?
Right, yeah.
Kids
obesity rates.
Yeah, growing up in school here, for me, I cannot crystallize a single moment where we were taught about the horrors of being overweight.
Right, yeah.
I've never probably heard the word diabetes till someone's family friend had it.
Dude, I remember when I was in school, I would... they would sell French fries, they would sell burgers, they would sell things I don't know how it is now. I don't have any kids,
we grew up eating pizza and garlic rolls in school.
And I just remember that. Now I'm looking back at it, I was I can't believe they used to serve that stuff to us when we were kids. You're like a 13, 14-year-old and you're eating garbage in schools, and it just it's programmed in your mind that that's not so bad. But I think with time, I think because we became such a globalized society, and I think we've we watch TV a lot, and we watch these new trends in health come out, and I think that's why you start taking a conscious effort. Also, a part of it is, like you said, looking good and feeling like you want the attraction, validation of other people. Maybe the word validation is a bit too heavy, but
that might be.
It could be.
That might be a reason someone does it.
Yeah.
There is. It's an issue that we face now in general. Is that everyone decides that there's one reason why people do something. It's not the problem. It's a problem.
Right. Yeah.
That's the way to kind of look at it. And maybe someone does want to lose weight so they can be told how good they look the entire time.
Right. You're right. You're right. I mean, look, that definitely was a thing. Running, obviously, having somebody who lives with you, who cooks in a very Dana doesn't always she's not the cook of the house or anything like that, but because she does her whole sunny side day thing, I get to munch on whatever she does in the morning, and it's quite healthy stuff. So I think that also my body slowly stopped having donuts for breakfast and started having your
body builds a preference. It's a fascinating machine,
and it's fine, And honestly, for me, my biggest push, and this is no joke, is so I could have shawarma halab at night. I just want to know that I could have shawarma and I don't need to get fast.
I like how over the years our friendships have been defined by every year had a theme. I think 2017 is defined by shawarma.
Halab.
We've had so much.
Dude,
of that.
That's the best shawarma in town.
In town, man.
Hands down.
Some people disagree.
What? Fuck them. They don't know shit about shawarma. That's what I can tell you that.
100%, man.
No, man.
People still tell me mallah and diyafa. I'm like, oh man.
They're good, but they're no halab.
No.
I got I went to try. There was one in Sharjah that apparently is the shit. Lafah, yeah. I tried it. It's not bad. It's good. It's good.
But no halab.
It's not halab. It's not halab.
As good as shawarma and food is here in general, street food will never be as good as Amman or Beirut.
Right.
No, 100 years.
No, of course.
I think part of the reason, as well as I'm so upset about I know this is gonna sound stupid in the grand scheme of things, but one of the things I think I never been to Syria. It's probably one of the saddest things in my life.
I've been once actually.
At the moment. I've only passed through Syria. On the car ride from Amman to Beirut. I missed out. I missed out on an entire culture. I missed out on so much history, primarily Aleppo.
It is quite sad,
in relation to all the food we're talking about, I've missed out on so much Syrian food because we get so many amazing Syrian restaurants here, and everyone's like, oh, the akl Suri, whatever it is.
Right, yeah.
And then you eat it, and you're like, I'm pretty sure this is better back home. Same thing when we eat falafel here, and this is not Hashim,
Right. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, before I go to Amman, I don't eat for a week, because I know that I'm gonna go and I'm gonna eat my heart out, whether it's Msakhan or whether it's Mansaf or whether it's Hashim or whatever it is. It's just I go and I eat my ass off. But I think that's one of the main reasons why I started watching my weight, is because I don't want to cut out the things that I crave, So I crave to go to have a good falafel sandwich, and I crave to have a good burger or whatever it is. So
do you find that your body no longer is happy?
It's happy.
It's happy at the moment.
Yeah.
But an hour or two later, you can feel your stomach rumbling.
But you know what? No, because when I run every day, my body sort of starts getting used to the fact that all right, he's just doing this once, and all right, boys, get to work.
Exactly.
Let's.
Shit is coming.
So just do your thing, and things will pass.
No, man. It's gotten very annoying. There are things I can't eat anymore.
Really?
Yeah, man. Severe heartburn, severe indigestion.
Interesting.
I think it's also because I spent a full year eating very dry food.
I grew a liking to things though. I didn't
Oh yeah, you discover a lot of new things. For example, I never touched a pumpkin or a beetroot in my life.
Yeah.
Now they're in every salad I have.
Yeah. Well, I used to hate salads. I was and Dana, you tell me she was telling me, oh yeah, I have I'm ordering whatever Basel for lunch. What the who has salads for lunch or dinner? That's not lunch or dinner. Yeah. That's just it's unacceptable.
Nope.
But now that's all I have for lunch. I have a salad. I'm good. I have a salad. So
that's good.
But it all goes back to this whole thing. It's your mentality. You want to change your mentality. You want to become better. And remember that video that came out on YouTube once? What was her name? She was a comedian. She had this fat shaming video, and it went viral, and everybody blew their they lost their shit, and it was pretty crazy. I don't know if you're. Come on, it was called Dear Fat People. Actually, do you remember it? Remember?
Is it one of the comedians on the circuit?
Nicole Arbour, I think her name was. I'm sure you've seen it. I'm sure if I show it to you, you'll know it.
Fat people. The title seems familiar, but I can't put it.
Yeah, it was annoying as fuck. It was really, really annoying. She was annoying as well. But like I don't believe in fat shaming. I think it's like it's the wrong way to go. You know, it's
like if you approach it thinking that oversized or fat people are actually happy in their body.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some are.
No, I encourage people to lose weight. Obviously, I do. I encourage people to lose their weight and whatever. But I don't encourage people to start making fun of people because of their weight or whatever.
I'm not. It's a weird struggle thinking about that. I mean, the entire body positivity thing is fine. But don't deny the fact. Like you wanna like be honest with the person.
Yeah.
You are great the way you are, whatever it is. But ... you run risks of excess in the future. It's probably in your own interest to take care of yourself. You're living in this body. You know, you're happy in it now. In 20 years from now, you won't be happy. You won't be happy. Maybe you will be.
Well, especially when you start having kids and whatever. Exactly. Do you want to live a healthy life for you to see your kids grow up? And
it's definitely not black and white. I mean, in general, nobody should. Unless there is no good reason. There is no good reason to like put people down.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Of course.
Everyone is free to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It's a thing, you know, and I know there's like obesity centers here and all that kind of stuff, so that
we struggle a lot with it here.
Yeah.
I mean, Kuwait was voted the fattest country in the world.
Right. I think so. Yeah, it was Kuwait, and like it was just something like that.
With diabetes, with thalassemia, with anemia, with like how can you? I don't get it. There's so many.
Yeah, but you know, I think they're addressing it, and I think you know, you see these obesity centers now. You see a lot of health campaigns out there that they're trying to get people to lose their weight and whatever. So that's good. I mean, you look at what they're doing now on Kite Beach in Dubai. You know, like with the whole running tracks and like healthy living, happy living, and whatever. Yeah. I think that all plays back into the mentality of the people who live in the city and to start being healthier. And I go to run in Kite Beach, and you'd be very surprised to see how many people are running and using the facilities there at night and whatever. So it's quite cool that they're doing that.
And you don't find an empty gym. Town. That's what's surprising, is that there is quite a big movement of people who are taking care of themselves. But again,
I fucking hate the gym. That's a problem.
Yeah,
I
don't like the gym either.
It's just like a bunch of people like. Oh, you know, the sounds and it's like indoor and there's AC and like
sweating. There's the thing,
I like to be outside. You know, I like to see.
I never had the stamina to be able to actually take on.
But you're killing it in the gym, though. I mean, like you're.
It is, but the only thing that ends up happening is that I keep gaining shape.
Right.
So my shape keeps changing. So, for example, I overstress my back muscles. Suddenly, I have like wings at the back, and my shirts don't fit.
Right.
Like, oh crap! I need to start running for a week now to kind of slim down a little.
Okay.
Oh, I pushed my chest a bit too hard. I'm standing. I look like I have from the side. I could have like this bulge happening.
Hercules.
Like that type of thing.
Yeah.
But there is that. I don't like the gym either. It's just something I have to do to maintain the point I got to in my life.
Yeah.
And the entire transformation thing for me began as a joke.
Right.
Like it was like, oh, it's Ramadan 2014. There's an entire month of nothing to do. The gym nearby had a 100 dirham offer. Like, come hang out for a month. End of the first month, oh, I lost 3 kilos. Really? How?
Yeah.
Let me see how far this thing can go.
Yeah, I should put a before-after picture for everybody who's listening or watching this. Because honestly, it was pretty amazing. What you did was pretty amazing.
I mean, you went down from double XL t-shirts to small.
Yeah.
That's a big move. I had to throw out.
Well, you start getting into the whole fashion thing. I mean,
that was fun.
That's when you started getting. I think that was like you sort of jumped from. Because I remember, like, I mean, I've known you for like what 15 years or whatever. Like, it's been ages, right?
Yeah, you're fresh. Yeah, 15 years. Yeah.
Okay, do the math, you know. But yeah, it's and I remember that. You know, like us and like both of us, we were never really into the whole like, you know, clothes or I mean, I'm into sneakers and you're into like you started to get into like the clothes thing but it all happened with your weight loss, and so it's almost like was not just okay, I'm gonna lose weight, but also I'm gonna look good, you know, and I'm gonna start looking good, and like you started getting into that. I
think it's also the disbelief at how many options you have.
Yeah.
It goes back to the earlier point I mentioned about people who are overweight not getting options. Because I think it was probably very heavily inspired by Instagram. I remember the first thing I got into was ties and bow ties. That was a very big thing. I found this company in Chicago called the Tie Bar. Great website with so much stuff on it. So I started wearing all these cool bow ties to events. So even with irrelevant events, like I'm going for a drink somewhere, I show up with like a bow tie.
Right.
Why? Only because it looked funky. I was wearing a blue shirt and a pink bow tie. I looked like a fucking clown, but who cared? I was happy with it. It looked quite cool. And it was such a massive departure from how things were. And then, one thing I used to always argue with Nadeem about, is that I would, for example, never pay.
Our friend Nadeem.
Yeah.
He's our buddy. Yeah. Good guy.
Yeah.
Great lawyer.
I mean, Nadeem probably has the best collection of us in terms of like tailored suits. He used to always tell me about how important this like.
He does look slick. Yeah.
He does all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And I would always have an argument like I can't even see the value in spending that much money.
I think you're born with it when you're a lawyer. You know, I think you sort of grow up with a suit. You know,
what's the name of that guy everybody's obsessed with from Suits? Spencer, whatever. I can't.
Spectre. Yeah. Dana got into Suits for a while.
Yeah.
I found it like a very annoying show.
I never watched a single episode. Not out of choice.
Well, it starts off really good, but then it becomes so repetitive to a point where like just shut up and move on.
But by the way, like, aren't most shows like that? I mean, unless they're very good at.
Well, some shows hook you, like Game of Thrones.
But Game of Thrones doesn't repeat though.
Which one?
Game of Thrones is not a repetitive.
Well, yeah.
So, like, for example, in like Doctor House, for example.
Right.
Imagine,
no, but House was like each episode was interesting. What Suits tried to do was like have one case and they pull it throughout the entire season. And it's like, fuck me, just move on. You know.
That's one of the things with the House. If House didn't have such insane character development in the first 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah.
The show is the same format.
Right.
Crazy sick guy walks in with insane disease. They try 18 different treatments. He's almost gonna die. House is farting in the corner, and he gets an epiphany, and he discovers some disease that no one has ever freaking heard.
Right.
And it was amazing because I was watching House in real time when it was coming out.
Right.
There was this doctor who ran a blog called Polite Descent, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Like, he was a real life diagnostician.
Okay.
And he would like
Wow.
rip every episode apart down to the medicine, the drama.
And was it accurate?
Yeah.
Really?
Like what's real, what's not real. Be careful from this. Don't become a hypochondriac and get scared of this and that and X, Y, and Z. So it was insane reading that in parallel because obviously everything is over dramatized. There's some episode where some girl is about to die of a blood clot in her head. They freeze her body down, suck all the blood out of her head, and they have 60 seconds to pump the blood back in slow motion to find where the clot is.
Wow.
Apparently that procedure...
Is that a real thing? Is that...
The doctor in his review was saying that this procedure in most cases, probably 99%, would kill the patient. There was no way it would run this smoothly, especially that in the episode, they overstepped the mark.
Okay.
They have 60 seconds only, and that brain is dead.
Okay.
Oh, Dr. Haas, of course, went up to 90. Yeah.
It's House, bro.
I got this, yeah.
What amazes me about House is that the guy is actually British, but pulls out an American accent like you've never believed it. You know, it's amazing, yeah.
So good. And like if you watch his audition tapes, he was in Senegal shooting a movie. And he shot in like a white room over it, like a camera of him just repeating these lines out of a paper. And he got
really. Oh, I haven't seen those.
Yeah, but the thing is, Hugh Laurie's like, he's like the three of them, Stephen Fry, Hugh Laurie, and Rowan Atkinson are like gods in like the 80s and like
really?
English television.
Well, yeah, I remember their show.
Black Adder.
Was it Black Adder? There was another one that they had. Hugh Laurie. What was the other guy?
Stephen Fry.
Stephen Fry
has QI.
Fry and Laurie. They had a show. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
And then Stephen Fry wanted to do QI, and then Rowan Atkinson became Mr. Bean, which of course is like the most recognizable face in the world.
Right.
You know. So these people, for them, they're timeless.
Right.
I mean, Rowan Atkinson was once talking in an interview about how it's fascinating to him how he can walk to like an Amazonian jungle.
Right.
That these guys have just a small 10-inch television and a VHS player, and they know who Mr. Bean is.
Right.
They get the tapes, they laugh. So he got to a point where he's entertaining an entire planet. Can you just what a weight to carry?
I remember Mr. Bean, man. It was like everybody was obsessed with Mr. Bean.
Watching Mr. Bean, then they had to freaking ruin the franchise with the terrible movies.
Shitty movies. I remember those. Yeah.
Hollywood showed up.
Yeah.
Oh, let's make a Mr. Bean movie.
Yeah. I remember. Shit, how did we get here? What the fuck? How did we get to shows? We were somewhere completely different.
I mean, we're not discussing a central topic. So we're just rambling at this point. This is more of a mic test. Hey, buddy.
No, it's good, man. I mean, you were talking about your style, and then we jumped into. We were talking about Suits and Nadeem, and okay, fine, yeah.
Shows, yeah.
Right. So you got into Suits and all that good stuff. Yeah, okay.
And then I discovered Grand Frank, which is that Swedish brand I'm obsessed with. You know, because the one you all make fun of with all my flowers.
Right. Yeah. You've become quite floral over the years. Yeah.
I like them. I know it's my feminine side coming out.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
It's all right. Yeah, you gotta do it as long as you're confident. It's fine. Yeah.
I like it, but the thing is, it's not easy, man. Like, I remember ordering a shirt and I wore it. I'm like,
Yeah.
even I remember like I only wore it once and I left the house. And like my mom's like, you look like a carpet. I'm like,
Oh, damn. Well, that's it for that shirt. We're done.
Done. It doesn't fit anymore. Anyways, it was too small. I've bucked up a little. But my goodness, it's very interesting. And then the suits thing is amazing, of course.
Right.
Because you know when you get dressed in a suit and like you look good and like you start putting all these embellishments like a flower here, a square here, whatever it is. It's a fun process.
Right.
It's a really
I can relate.
Versus when you're like 40 kilos overweight, you can only fit into that black suit that you can buy from brands because no one makes your size.
Right.
You would not dream of buying a suit.
The brands, you mean the store, the reseller or whatever.
You never dream of buying. Like if you were, let's say, I love Ted Baker. If I go back to my original size, I would never find anything that fits me in that store.
Really?
Yeah. Like it's offensive when you enter it. Like someone even my size walks into Zara, the jeans don't fit.
Right.
Like in what universe do these people live that you're like getting dressed for?
Lose the weight and come here and buy from Zara.
I got big thighs, man. It's not gonna help.
It's funny though. I never got into style or not style, but suits.
But how did you get into sneakers though?
I don't know, man. It's so random. I think I've always had like a liking for sneakers.
Okay.
I never just delved into it.
Sneakers or shoes in general?
No, sneakers in particular. Okay. So I remember when I was studying in Amman in school, there was this NBA craze happening, and I really got into the sneaker aspect of it. Like I sucked at basketball. I sucked at every sport actually. We started collecting these trading cards. And then
the cards, man.
Yeah, my brother still has those.
Yeah, I still have a couple at home.
Yeah,
I've got a collectible Sean Kemp somewhere.
Well, might be worth something. Yeah. So you never know. Yeah. But yeah, I was always drawn to the sneakers, but I never got into it. And then I remember what do you call it? Like years later, I think I saw a friend of mine. He was wearing these Nike Flyknits. And I was like, these are really cool. What are those? And then he explained, and again, I didn't get into it. But then Dan and I went to New York, and we sort of, I went to Nike Town, and I bought a couple of pairs from there. And then the whole NMD thing started, and I just sort of like delved into it. Now I'm addicted, and now like I'm just sort of like buying sneakers whenever. Well, not whenever, but just whenever I see something that I really want, I sort of just buy it. But
yeah, you guys make a conscious effort. You get up in the morning. You go to launches. You might even stand in a line or in a queue.
Yeah, I mean, I would wake up at like let's say I know a launch is happening at 10 a.m. on Adidas.ae, and I would get on the website at like 9:30, sit there, like crack my fingers, and like start like refreshing until like I started.
What's the shoe you missed out on last month? You all got upset.
The Yeezy.
The Yeezy one.
Yeah, the white Yeezy. I got really, but my wife, bless her heart, she bought me the Yeezys. She got them for me, man. Amazing. She's it's a good one. She's a keeper, that one. Yeah. So yeah, it really like it goes back to our like losing weight conversation, and really that really encouraged me to lose weight because like I have all these sneakers now, but now I have to wear them with cool shit because like otherwise it doesn't make sense. So in order for me to wear cool stuff, I have to start like making a conscious effort to lose weight
to get into a shape.
Really, shape
specific
other than oval, and so now so it's better. I mean, I feel better. I feel healthier, and that kind of thing.
And it's also good that it's good that our smoking days are behind us as well.
Right? Yeah, that's another thing. Exactly. Yeah, fuck smoking, man.
We used to smoke so much in uni.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Shit, it used to be. I mean, I remember I found a picture. Remember Wild Pita? The Wild Pita days. Yeah. Shout out to Wild Pita, man.
Magic Juice, man.
Yeah. Oh my God. Those were great shawarmas.
Yes.
Yeah, those were great. A bit gourmet, but really good. But I remember I saw a picture and I had like a pack of cigarettes right next to my sandwiches, and that seemed so foreign to me. Like, holy shit! I used to like smoke so much.
We recently started consulting for a club that's open in Dubai, and the opening was 3 weeks ago. And I remember I went there. It's been like 6 months without a cigarette.
Yeah.
Now, since
wow, 6 months. It's been 6 months. Damn.
Almost. I mean, since Coldplay, since New Year's.
Okay.
That was the last cigarette I had.
All right.
So it was a club opening. We're having a drink, and everybody's there. I'm like, you know what? Let me have a cigarette. I'm not gonna go back. I'm just gonna see one puff out. I'm like, I can't believe I used to do this.
Yeah,
up to like 10-15 cigarettes a day.
Yeah,
no more.
Yeah, I stopped. I mean, I can't like even the smell, nothing. Like honestly, when you detach yourself from it for a while, you feel.
You know when it hits you the most in elevators.
Right. Yeah, you can smell it. Like, woo, buddy. How much did you smoke? Seriously? And is it worth it to stand outside in the humidity to have a cigarette?
No, not in this weather. What's also insane to me now with Ramadan coming up, people who fast all day and open their food,
break their fast on a cigarette. It's like, come on, bro.
The biggest system shock.
Are you really doing that?
To your lungs. At least have a cup of water first. No, there are people. I've seen people literally wait. They hear the matfa and
It's pretty weird.
It's brutal.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of people are vaping though. That's where people are going now. They're going for the vape thing.
Vape is a good trend.
I don't get it, man. I don't get vape.
I don't mind it, but it can be good for you.
It can't be good for you. You know, it's too sweet. There's that liquid thing that they put inside of it. There's a machine, you know, and there's like a digital calculator.
You get that bit of like liquid on your lips. You're like, I can taste this crap. Yeah.
Dude, I took it once, and because I see my vaping friends, they sort of like take it in, like you know, like macho, and they take the entire thing. The smoke comes out like you're Sauron or something, you know. And I'm like, you know, I could do this. I could get behind this. So I took a puff, and I swear I choked so bad. I lost my voice for a day or a day or two. I couldn't. It was disgusting.
It's insane that it's gotten now to a point where there's vaping competition.
It's crazy.
They do all these like circles and stuff.
It's crazy. Well, at least there's no like there's no tar. There's no all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man.
I have no idea. I think it's gonna be like a trend for like a year or two maybe, and then.
And then they'll probably either because it's not even legal in the UAE, right? Is it? I don't even know if it's. Is it? Do they sell it here? I don't even know if they sell it here.
They sell it in. As far as I know, there's a guy you can call from Dragon Mart.
Okay.
He mixes it to you.
I hear that. I just don't know if they officially. They probably will be in smoking centers soon or something.
Listen, there is law against it now.
Oh, really? Oh, I don't know that.
There was law that got passed. It was in Gulf News, I think, 2 weeks ago. About if you trade in vapes illegally, you get fined.
Okay.
So I don't think I don't think the Ministry of Health has figured out the correct way of dealing with the vape issue yet.
Okay.
People, I mean, they're everywhere. You go to clubs. DJs are vaping. Everyone's vaping. In shisha places, everyone's vaping. In the cars, in the streets, everybody's vaping.
Right.
It's readily available.
Well, is it legal outside, like in the US? Okay.
Of course.
It's a matter of time before.
It's only also a matter of time before the big tobacco companies move in that direction.
Right.
Like the more and more people move away from classical, cigarettes to vape, and then the cost of vapes comes down because the machine is expensive, right? So the first initial push would be like 500 dirham, مثلا.
Oh, is it that expensive?
To get like a good one, you can find some for like
500 euros. That's what, like $100 or something.
$150 probably.
Wow.
I mean, there are some of them go very high. They have these things in them that, for example, creates like even more compression or something to get more smoke out. These competitions think they use specific oils, specific.
No way.
Yeah, because you need very thick smoke to come out so you can shape it and do shapes with it and stuff.
Okay.
The basic stuff you buy like online from these websites, you can do shapes. It's just smoke.
Okay.
It's just not thick enough.
Right.
To kind of produce that. So there is that, and I think once the price kind of comes down and you see a big migration under the guise of healthier, move from cigarettes or shisha to vapes, Philip Morris is going to show up and say Marlboro Liquid.
Yeah.
I think that
makes sense. That makes sense. You know? I mean, I think the entire thing is bullshit. I think the entire putting. I just found the concept of smoking to be very dumb. You know, just dumb. Like I found it dumb. Like dumb is the right word because, and I used to smoke, so I mean I was dumb as well. But I mean, you taking something and then putting it in your mouth, lighting it up, willingly putting smoke into your lungs, knowing that this could cause cancer and kill you, and you still do it. That for me is dumb. You know, it's a dumb process.
You're literally paying money to pump poison into your own lungs.
It is. You're putting poison in your body, and it's dumb.
But people get attached to it, man. I mean, there are people who on their deathbeds who have smoking from cancer who say, "I'm going to go out of smoke."
Right.
People love it. There's insane love.
That's crazy
for smoking.
It's crazy. It's addiction. I really think it is fucking addiction. That's what it is.
Going cold turkey wasn't easy.
Yeah,
because you do get cravings. You do get a lot of cravings. Primarily for smoking is a disaster. But I think also as you grow up and you need to be conscious, especially if you're trying to build a family as well. Like people who are have kids and everything can't.
Well, it hits your sperm count. It hits your it fucks up your entire system. Yeah, so if you're trying to have a baby, stop smoking. You know, so there's that.
The seed's in danger.
Right. I mean, I used to love it because I used to sit on the balcony, put a juice or my Dr. Pepper or whatever it is, and I have my cigarette.
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, because I used to live in downtown, so I had this nice view and the Burj, and I'm oh, this is nice. This is my 10 minutes of just sit there and do my thing. But it's fucking dumb. Yeah, it's just dumb as fuck.
There is Probably, maybe there might be like a classical thing attached to the concept of smoking. Like, like in black and white movies, you always see the cigarette and the whiskey on the rocks, and there is that kind of look of being the macho who did. I think kind of
exactly. I think it is.
Generation.
I think there is something attached to it. Like you're either cool or macho if you smoke, and that's it's very weird. But I think it's now just you look dumb. That's what it is. It's like relax, bro. No one's doing it anymore.
But it's very funny. Like there are these weird stigmas attached to it. So, for example, someone goes like, "Oh, I'm fine with smoking as long as I don't see a girl smoking." Okay, and then I'm fine with a girl smoking, but it's very vulgar when she's smoking while walking. Really? Where do you come up with this stuff? Smoking is smoking. Whether if you're smoking, you're sitting down. I don't get it.
It's just stop smoking. That's what it is.
Stop attaching these weird concepts to justify your weird insecurities about someone. If somebody wants to smoke while walking,
look, smoke. I mean, you want to smoke, you smoke. It's legal, but it's. I mean, I just remember 10 years ago when you remember we used to be able to smoke in malls and restaurants, and you'd finish your meal,
go to the mall, get to Burger King, have a burger, and then smoke a cigarette.
I just remember we were sitting in Mercato Mall, and you, me, and
that night.
I don't remember. It was a bunch of people were sitting, and then and we were talking about this ban law for like the banning smoking law.
Old food court.
Yeah, and then we were smoking. I was like, that's law. Like nobody's gonna ever abide by that, you know.
Exactly.
And look at us 10 years later. Like nobody. Like it's unheard of to smoke in a mall, in a restaurant, and like
even in companies. When I used to work.
Yeah, in companies too. That's right.
When I joined Grey in 2004. People who don't know the horrors of smoking in an office now don't understand how much more you smoke if you could smoke at your desk. Especially when you're like stressed.
Yeah, I remember that. I used to do that. I remember I used to come visit you in Grey and you're like, I smoke. You used to get your shisha, remember? Like, that's pretty crazy.
Overnight once where we were allowed to get our shishas over the weekend because we got screwed with the project.
Yeah.
We're like, listen, we'll 24-hour this shit, but I'm going home to bring my
That's
shisha.
Pretty cool. That's pretty fun.
We had a great boss. It was really probably the height of my self-owned career.
Right.
To work in Grey.
Yeah.
Which was really good. Good days.
Yeah, that's crazy times, man. It's been a while. But yeah, I mean, fuck, how long have we been going for?
I have no idea.
It's been an hour or?
Does it say the time on this?
Shit, I don't know. Let's see here. 52 minutes we've been going.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah. Wow, man. This is
it's good. Yeah.
For a first trial. That's not too bad at all.
But I'm telling you, man, we can do this every day.
Yeah. I mean, this is good. Look, I know there's a lot that you and I just talk about so much, so many things that we didn't even like scratch the surface. I mean, we just kept jumping from topic to topic. But I know that there's a lot of things that we talk about, like, and I definitely want us to have like another discussion and just talk about these things. Yeah. But I just wanted to basically start this podcast and start it with somebody not only is like one of the closest friends of mine, but also like a very famous person such as yourself. You know,
I'm never gonna live this down.
So it's good to have that. Like, I think this is now clickable just because it has Joe Akkawi in it. Otherwise, nobody gives a shit about what I have to say. But
I was a little better dressed.
And I'm plugging Adidas in this as well, so maybe they can give me some new and exclusive shoes in the future.
You should boost him. Sorry.
If you were listening to this, we were just pointing at the camera right now, just like Adidas, like a plug by Adidas. But
the deafening silence of a terrible joke.
Yeah. Look, for me, it's what I'm trying to do is I like these. I mean, you and I over the past year we started getting into these, not just podcasting, but like all these long form content that we started,
primarily ideology talk, man. That's been a very
from ideology to debates to talk. To ideas, the marketplace of ideas and whatever.
I like that term. I like that.
Yeah, it's so I think you and I got into that stuff a lot in the last year and a half, or 2 years maybe. And
in a way, it's kind of shaped a lot of our thinking as well.
It has, yeah.
Well, it didn't give us what to believe in. It's very interesting to hear opposing sides.
And it opened our minds, I think, a lot. To the world and how other people may think and perceive us, not just as people, but as like what we believe in and the sort of like places we live in and all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of like interesting stuff, and it all came in long form content. And I think there's not much long form content out there today, at least in our region. And I think it would be cool for us to do some stuff like that and talk to interesting people. And I think you're a very interesting person, so that's why I know like this is the most I've complimented you in our 15 years of friendship.
One might think trying to get with me.
If it's a little awkward, I understand that. But yeah.
So I also saw a couple of people who you have on schedule to talk to.
Yeah,
later on.
I hope they say yes. I mean, they might be like, who are you again?
To be honest, I think there's a lot of people who have stories to tell.
Yeah.
A lot of people who have ideas to discuss. There's a lot. We are, to quote Professor, we are in a big time of chaos now.
Yeah.
Things are being shaken apart. Things are being moved all over the place. Our concepts of understanding of how society works is becoming is challenged on a daily basis. There are laws being passed abroad, laws being passed here that kind of changed thousands of years of natural human evolution. Science is at war with postmodernism and like these concepts. So there's a lot to. So I'm sure there's so many people who are now in their own little bubble, or their own little heaven, or their own little hell, who have a lot to talk about how life is changing for them.
Absolutely, and I think it's a basis for tolerance as well. When you bring people from very different backgrounds and talk to you, and
it is because a lot of people read headlines. That's a very big problem.
That's right.
Is that, for example, if you're trying to read on a specific topic, you happen to click on one of those like extremely right-wing websites, and you just read the headline and decide to believe it.
Right.
Instead of you digging into the story and realizing, wow, how sensationalized is this?
Right. Well, you see this a lot on Facebook, right? So you see an uncle of yours who shares something like, something from like a really obscure website, and it says like, I think something went viral.
The Templar archives.
Yeah, something weird, and it's just this news that is just, this is so like not true. It's bullshit, and we know it's bullshit. But like, and then you believe it, and then you meet them up like later, and then they sort of like tell you about the news that they read on Facebook. If you read something on Facebook and it's not backed by a proper source, it's most likely to be not true. So just
to anyone listening, a tip. There's this really cool thing that the WSJ did. The Wall Street Journal, which they created something called red column, blue column. It's very American focused, but it's very interesting for people to see. Is that you enter into that website they created, and then you choose a topic. So let's say you pick abortion as a topic, and then it will show you 2 Facebook timelines.
Right.
How a Republican.
Oh, I saw those,
and how a Democrat would look, and then you would realize how different the opinions are. Like it's pure polarization.
It's funny because yesterday,
at some point they should put the center column for people like us. On the fence.
Well, we're a rare breed, I think. But I was out for dinner yesterday. And I was talking about this particular thing because friends of mine were saying that but a lot of people are quite liberal these days, and like they talk about liberal stuff and da da da. And I was thinking like and I remember that Wall Street Journal thing, and I was like, honestly, it's because the group of people you surround yourself with are mostly like liberal in leaning, or left in leaning, and so you see a lot of like stuff that is left leaning in general. So your Facebook algorithm sort of like understands that that's that kind of stuff that you'd like to see, so they serve you that kind of content. But then there's another side of Facebook that is completely like conservative, right-wing kind of like mentality. So and it's almost like split right down the middle, So
I can't remember who said this. I was listening to a cast as well, and someone said a very good line that explains it. Is that when you're browsing on social, it always says you will also like this,
right?
Versus you must know this,
right? Yeah, exactly.
So it's
that's
like,
right.
Yeah, so it's like that's the problem with Facebook, right?
Good point.
That's right. So you just read an article about
recommended for you as well. Like
it's based on your years and hours of reading.
That's right.
But ... What about this side of the argument? What about this side of the story?
That's
what about this guy who is your friend who is posting about things, but he never appears on your timeline because you guys never agree on anything?
Absolutely. Well, you have those. I mean, on Facebook, you have those.
So you need at some point to develop a conscious effort to understand the other side of the argument. It doesn't mean that you have to kind of gravitate towards it, because people are very protective about their identities and what they believe.
Right.
And they're very terrified of being shaken, of being told they're wrong. I think it's one of the hardest things you can tell someone. I've believed something for 30 years and holy crap,
and then you tell
wrong.
them,
How?
Well, I think a great one was, a guy that we both like listened to, Jordan Peterson. He was talking about
burning the
deadwood thing, and I thought that was pretty interesting. You believe in something for so long, and then like somebody tells you an opposing viewpoint, and you're like, wait, that's.
Well, was it truth burns the deadwood?
Yeah.
And people don't like to have their deadwood burned, especially when they're 95% deadwood.
Right.
That sentence on its own is brutal.
Right.
That can shake someone, especially if they haven't made the conscious effort to grow in their knowledge.
Well, it's interesting. His field is so interesting because he started talking about the whole gender neutral thing, and like, and it's a very interesting area. Like it's very foreign to us in this side of the world.
I'll get here.
Maybe, but for us, it's just sort of like I feel detached from it in a way because it's not something that that is in our airwaves or something that we actually talk about in our everyday conversations, and so it's quite interesting to hear that and like to go to these places like the Canada or whatever, Western Europe or where they have these conversations about things that are so foreign to us, and it's quite interesting. But he's interesting. He's an interesting character for sure.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we'll save that for a much deeper.
Yeah, that's another one. It could go for another couple of hours, but yeah. We'll wrap it up here.
Yeah.
And,
nice one, man. Thank you.
This is good, man. This is as a first.
So much for trying out the mic, huh?
Yeah, as a first try, that was pretty good, man. And I'm definitely gonna have another session with you because we're gonna have another one. But here's to our first podcast, long form content, and until next time,
we'll.
I don't know how to end these things, but. Enjoy, I guess. I don't know, man.
if you've gotten this far, thanks for sticking around.
Yeah, honestly, if you've been through like an hour of this, oh shit, it's been an hour.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, if you've been through an hour of this, then well done. This is gonna be on both, I think, iTunes. If you're listening, it's probably gonna be on iTunes, and I'm gonna put up on Facebook, on my Facebook page, and on my YouTube page. So whatever works, enjoy it.
Done.
All right.
Nice one, man.
Woo! Yeah. All right. That's not bad. I went on for an hour.
I'm just good, man.
Let's see.